Strain on the Train, written by Cheeky Bluey 2. Percy is a small shuttle tank engine that works on Thomas's branch line, mainly doing the goods work. Toby sometimes helps him out when the work becomes too much, however, Percy claims that he can manage it on his own. One day, Percy was at the harbor when the dock manager came up to him. A big shipment is coming in, and apparently it was unscheduled. You'll need to move it all. But sir, what about my train leaving here? Toby has promised to take it over. There's no time to argue, Percy. You have to go, said his driver. Percy reluctantly went off to find some trucks. When he found some trucks, he took them back to the harbor, waiting for the ship. The ship arrived and all the cargo was unloaded. Guard blew his whistle. Peep, peep, Percy answered, and with that, the little green tank engine started. However, the load was more heavier than he was used to. He strained and he struggled. He struggled and he strained, but he was determined to keep on going. At the harbor, there was a small hill just before reaching the first station of Thomas's branch line. Percy was struggling and straining. I can do it. It was only just lucky that he was able to make it. We'll have to stop for water here. That hill is really proving something. No, we can't be late with this delivery, panted Percy. Fine, but we'll have to take on water eventually, Percy. Percy was pleased and started off again. I can do it. I can do it. Presently, they came to Elsbridge. Thomas was waiting on the lee. My, Percy, it looks like you do need some water. No, thank you, Thomas, panted Percy. I'm all right. Suit yourself then, said Thomas, but don't say I didn't warn you. Percy just scoffed and continued up the line. The trucks were beginning to become bored. Hold back, they screamed and slammed their brakes on. Percy found it even harder to move them. No, you don't. But the trucks weren't refusing. Hold back, they screamed. Percy strained and he struggled and he struggled and he strained. Percy, you shouldn't be doing this, said his driver. You're running low on... I can do it, interrupted Percy. They were just passing Mrs. Kindly's cottage. Mrs. Kindly watched in admiration. Look at that little green engine. Always determined to get his work done, she said. Percy was able to hear this, and he was more determined to make it on. He was just puffing out of Hackenbeck Tunnel when I can do it. I can. Oh! A sudden hiss of steam came out, and with a shriek and a groan, Percy came to a complete stop. Oh, that's great. You burst the safety valve trying to move this. Can't go on any further. But what about getting it to Farquhar? Panted Percy. Looks like we'll just have to wait for Toby. However, Toby was busy elsewhere, so Mavis had to come and collect the train. Oh my, Percy, you look very worn out, she said. Percy couldn't reply. He just felt ashamed of himself. When the goods was delivered to Farquhar, the station master was surprised. We weren't supposed to get this. This was a mainline goods for Wellsworth. Mavis was surprised. She took half of the train down to Knapford Junction, then took the other half down. Henry was waiting to collect the entire train. My, Mavis, I didn't know you could move this much. Only half the train. However, you should really be thanking Percy. He was able to move this from the harbor all the way to Hackenbeck. Henry was surprised. My, he said. I must congratulate him next time I see him. Percy was in the works for a few days, but when he came back to whistles and cheers from the other engines. Percy now knows his limits, and I don't think he'll try and take a heavy goods again. Don't you?